Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Casual KO here. We've got Harry, who is a recurring guest from Pro Schmo Bets. It sounds like you're working on something new out there, Harry. I'm interested in you kind of talking about that a little bit. It seems pretty cool with the machine learning stuff. But as always, we have Alex, one of the regular three on the show here, but we are missing Jared once again. He's very busy right now, but he'll be back soon. Everything's good with him. Just busy. Man's got priorities. So excited about this card, guys. Real quick, let's plug some stuff up front. Let's do it a little different here. Harry, you're the guest. Plug your stuff and tell the people about that machine learning stuff that you guys are working on. I caught a clip of that earlier today.
Yeah, proschmobets.com. It's good acquaintanceship I had for a while. I mean, maybe 3 years ago, came across a data scientist, great guy, and it's really AI, but it has its touch of machine learning. Machine learning is very complex, man. Look it up. There's a huge difference between machine learning and AI. So we use it loosely because I think that's where eventually we're going to cap in it. We're going to cap in those type of systems, right? But to the point that utilization comes from cool things like the UFC implementing sensors in these gloves that they use to get the heartbeats per minute, right? So that data that is real time can be used in leveraging live bets, or maybe if you take that data, you drop it on an Excel spreadsheet, now you have a number like you would a height and weight for a particular fighter, and you can use that to proportion out, a skill set or what have you, right? When you're capping your fight.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's what I'm working into more and more every week. Man, I've been up 24 hours. I have not slept. I have not slept. So
Well, thanks for coming on, man, making some time for us.
yeah, no problem.
Alex, think the people know where to find you at this point, but it doesn't hurt to tell them anyway.
Just subscribe to the page, tune into the podcast, follow. If you like making money, then this is the place to be. We're in Salt Lake City, Utah this week, so elevation's going to be a factor. And like I told you guys last time we were in elevated card in Denver, there's going to be a lot of finishes. This is the fourth card in Salt Lake City. So after all those three previous cards, they have a 51% finish rate, which is above the average in the overall UFC. So look out for some finishes tonight, and I'm excited for this card too. It's gonna be a banger.
It should be dope. Yeah, I've got a hard out in about 2 hours, so we can run through this card. There's only 12 fights, seven prelims, five main card event or main card bouts, I should say. And yeah, like Alex said, listen to the audio here on Dangerous World Podcast. Get the video over on Alex's YouTube, which is always plugged in the show notes. And we'll start with the first fight of the night. Harry, you can do the honors since you're the guest.
McGee and Tim Means, guys, man. I mean, you know where I'm going with this, right? So they're older, and they're all rigged. Both guys are rigged with ailments, and so following McGee's fight with Matt Brown, he had to get neck surgery. This was like May of 2023, and then he fights Morano, right? That's his latest fight, and Morano is saying behind a press microphone, how he heard his arm pop when he had him in the armbar. He had McGee in an armbar, and he's like, I heard it pop. This guy's falling apart. With that said, Tim Means, great striker, man. He'll get his spacing on McGee to chase him down and then probably wear him down because of, like Alex mentioned, the elevation. However, then you find there's a photo circulating on Tim Means coming out from a physical therapy office just early last week. So out of control, man. And Tim's is like a 2-1. So minus 200, minus two. That's crazy. I take McGee, hometown fight. I hope he subs Tim Means, and that's what I'm running with, man. Throw your lunch money on McGee. That's how you got to play this, unless you play a prop. That's what I think. But I'm not taking Tim Means on the money line. Absolutely not.
Got it. So if you're gonna go with the McGee fight here, and you're siding with him, you know how we like to do it. We like to do a method and round. How do you think Court McGee wins here?
Man, I think Means is just gonna give it to him, just like Nico Price did Robbie Lawler. And I just think because it's his hometown, and McGee's been through some shit, man. And a lot of folks think he won his last fight. I'd say first round, man. McGee submission first round. That's
S
it.
Sub in round one. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, I agree with you on a lot of this shit where you're saying like these guys are both old busted up dudes. Tim Means, I mean, I think he died a couple times. Like, I don't know if it was drug overdose or what it was, but he's had some problems in the past. Still a tough dude. Both these guys are tough. I think Tim Means is definitely the more dangerous guy, but at these odds, man, you can't really lay that kind of chalk on an older dude that's got some serious miles on him. So yeah, give me Court McGee as well. I'm not as bullish as Harry is here on this. I think that this could go longer. I don't think it necessarily reaches the distance, although it could, because these guys might get real tired and then they're just slinging it out for the last two rounds. But give me a McGee finish in round two. I'll go with a knockout in round two for Court McGee there. What do you got, Alex?
I'm gonna go against you guys. I'm all over the Dirty Bird here. I like him. I'm less confident after seeing a recent picture of Court McGee. I don't know if you guys seen him recently, but this man is definitely on a cycle of steroids. This man, I want to say a couple years ago, no six pack and whatnot. This man just hit 40 and he looks like he's in his 30s now. So that was a huge red flag for me. So the value is all over McGee here. This is a 50-50 fight. I'm not going to shame anybody for taking a shot on McGee here. I think he is the better grappler. But as far as gas in the tank, motivation, and just plain old striking, I like Tim Means. I think this is a great matchup for him. I think it's a great matchup for both of these guys to retire too. Um, I would love to bet Tim Means at -110. My pick is definitely going to be Tim Means to win a decision here. But as far as the odds, they're wide, especially if you guys go see Court McGee. He's in shape, some of the best shape I've ever seen him in, and that's huge when you're coming into a fight in Salt Lake City. I think it's going to get sloppy, and I think these guys are going to go to a close split decision, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. They should probably both retire after this, but you got to expect them both to come in prepared. They're both going to be ready to rock as best as they can. Just age gets to you, man. Second fight, Alex, you can take this one. OSP versus Ryan Spann, who I've kind of soured on lately. But what do you think about this?
Oh, dude, I can't. I've won and lost a lot of money on Ryan Spann fights. I've hit him against Johnny Walker and won, and I bet big on Dominic Reyes against Spann and lost. And it's just, this guy's unpredictable. You don't know which Ryan Spann you're gonna get. Definitely the 1-800 gambler fight of the card, in my opinion. I gotta go with Spann. I think he should get it done. Just even by submission. If OSP shoots on him in the first round, I think it's done. But I'm gonna go Ryan Spann gets a knockout in the first round. Definitely would stay away from this. Hard to read where both of these guys are at in their careers.
Yeah, I'm with you on that exactly. I have nothing to add. I think Ryan Spann, he's going to gas out quick. He knows that. He needs to finish this probably in round one. And I think he's going to go out there and give it his all in round one to try to get that knockout. So, yeah, let's go Ryan Spann, knockout round one. Harry, where you at on this one?
Oh man. So I thought that OSP would not be a sizable opponent for Span. And I was a little apprehensive about that because I was leaning OSP. And yeah, so I just like that there's key controls to a body lock that he could end up securing. I think that's important. I do like that he has the power on the feet. I like the angles he takes. So if he gets out of that first round, man, he's definitely winning this fight. Ryan Spann's Instagram is dead. He's not with the he's not at Fortis. Where's he at, Alex? He's at the MMA lab? Where is he? Where was he? Because he's not even there anymore.
I
Hmm.
believe he
He's at,
was at Fortis.
he's at like a low, yeah, he was at Fortis, right? He's at a low tier gym. where he's not even paying his dues because there is absolutely no photo on the internet. I literally shot there's this software that we shot to find photos, right? So anything that's public we could trace, right? And there is no photos, not even tagged photos, no photos of Ryan Spann in the last 3 months in either of those gyms.
Mm,
So
not a good
this
sign.
is out of control. Like, where the fuck has he been? What's going on, dog? You're a minus 340 with 90% of all the money. You got parlayed with Renato Moicano from last week. You got parlayed with all these other fighters, from the French card. And now everybody's just crossing their fingers. That's incredibly casual, man. And I used to make those mistakes. That's how I know I'm talking about it.
What you got method round?
So I think I think OSP, uh man, if Ryan doesn't want to be there, round two, man. If Ryan doesn't want to be there, he's done. If most of these guys too, they milk the insurance plan. This guy that fought Ian Cutelaba, what's his name from last week in France?
Ivan.
Urslan,
Urslan?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ivan Urslan, man. He went shopping, regional promotions. He was looking for a contract, and UFC ended up signing. And they're stupid. I tagged Dana White on it. I told him, bro, you need to know that these guys are looking to milk the UFC PI money. You know what it's like to be fed, to be cared for on their insurance plan, bro. It's crazy, bro.
Mhm.
And you saw what he was winning that fight, like because they gave a split decision win. So, but obviously it was gonna be too blatant after he gives up that takedown in the last 10 seconds. Dude, he literally gave it up. Like
Yeah.
he just turned over. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's how I know that dude was just in. They're very talented. Don't get me wrong. That's why if you're asking, well, why the fuck would they sign it? Isn't UFC like the think tank? Don't they have all this data? They know what's going on. They know who they're signing. Yeah, that guy is good, bro. He's good, man. He's talented. But dude, he's malingering, bro. He's malingering.
Solid word to describe him. So you said round two, you got a sub or a knockout? What are you leaning towards?
I'll do a knockout finish. Yeah, I'll do that.
OSP knockout round two. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said this last time when we did this. If Ryan Spann comes out in the fucking shower cap and the Superman cape, I am going to fade him, and I'm going to be on that OSP side because that's goofy as fuck for an adult to be doing that. So, I get he said he was doing it for his daughter, but he just kind of seems like one of these dudes that tries to act like too cool, all this stuff. So we'll see what actually happens there. But yeah, I'm on the Spann side for now, barring the shower cap. I haven't seen that yet. So all right, third fight of the night. It's a chick fight, Alex. You know you like taking these chick fights first. Carla Esparza, who has basically confirmed that she's retiring after this. And then Tisha Pennington, the tiny tornado. These two were going at it, man. I think Pennington won her last fight. But this fight. So what do you think about this one, Alex?
Both of them having a kid. It's a close fight. Wouldn't touch this at all. I would very much say this fight goes the distance.
That's
Both of them
juiced.
are gonna have a lot of mutual respect for each other too. I was listening to their interviews. Both of them just recently had a kid, so there's gonna be that mom camaraderie, as they say. So I think this fight's gonna be a little bit more friendly than people think. And I think anything close goes to Tisha here. They're gonna want to build her name off of Carla. I think anything close. I think Carla could win this fight and still lose the fight. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think anything close is going to be a robbery and get given to Miss Pennington here. I think she's going to have the volume advantage. Carla's definitely going to have probably more takedowns, more control time. But I think they want to give the win to the girl who's going to stay in the UFC here. I was all over Carla until I heard she was retiring. And I said, we know bet on fighters who are retiring in this sport. Pennington, unanimous decision or split. It's my good solid pick.
Yeah, that juice that you mentioned, or the over that you mentioned is juiced. I think it's like minus 600 on the offshore books right now. It's gonna be wild. Usually those top out around like 450, 500, 6. I don't think I've ever seen that for an over. So Harry, where are you at on this one?
I didn't know that shit. I'm pretty sure Carlos getting knocked the fuck out, man.
You think so?
I'm pretty confident, but I'm not going to bet that because the minus 170 line on Torres is incredible.
Yeah.
Versatile striking, Superman punch, right high kick. She's she's dude. She went 1 for 10 on the takedowns with Tabitha Ritchie her last time out. Darn, right? And listen, people said it was controversial. They thought that Tisha beat Dern. They thought Tisha beat Tabitha Ritchie. With Dern went 0 for 5 on the takedowns against Angela Hill. Angela Hill went 1 for 7 on the takedowns. That's wild, brother. So, um, when I what's even crazier is this: when I first saw the line open up on FanDuel and DraftKings, I'm pretty confident, literally, that her line, Tisha Torres's line, was like minus 120, minus 110. And in a few hours, 9 hours later, that shit moved to minus 170. Here's what's crazy though. I don't know if this was intertrading with casino families, but when Carla went from plus 130 to plus 150, she got like 10 or 20% of the betting splits all of a sudden in a matter of 24 hours. And I was like, that's fucking weird. So the money's evened out between them two after that line movement. And it's just odd. Like the lines threw me off, but I said, fuck this. I capped the fight. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Tisha got this in the bag. And if it's a third robbery for her, that's sad as fuck. But then I thought about it politically too. They'd want her to win this fight so that then people say, oh, her here. Oh, well, if she won, well, Pennington now,
Mhm.
Pennington now.
Yeah, I mean, she is. I'm eyeing a Pennington parlay. I will say that for
Yeah,
sure because
there you go. See,
that's a fun
that's
one.
that.
I'm assuming. So you said knockout. Are you going early or late? Round one,
Oh,
round two, round three?
if I had to bet a prop, I'm betting the money line. I do a decision rationalizing that way. But yeah, if I had to bet a prop, yes, I'm doing round. I'll do round three, man. Round three knockout, man.
Late knockout. I like that.
As we
Um,
see, that line is minus 185 on Tisha at some spots too.
the money line. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I think it's a close fight, but I don't think that we're going to see anything crazy here. This is if you're not betting on it or whatever, this is a time to refill your drink, get some food, take a piss break, whatever. Not going to be super entertaining probably, but this is back to you here, Harry. We got Alexander Hernandez versus Austin Hubbard, two very different styles for these guys. What do you think?
Man, I like all the work that Alexander Hernandez has put into the gym at Factory X, right? That's what's the gym called, Alex? Where Roy Val is?
I think he's at Factory X. That's what it says here on
Yeah,
Tapology
Factory
right
X,
now.
Like
right?
the
Yeah.
MMA lab, I thought.
No, it is Factory X. And,
Yeah,
and
you're
you know what's crazy? They broke up. You know that, right? All the members disbanded.
From
Roy
Factory
Val,
X.
yeah, Roy Val is in a whole different gym. Hernandez is in a whole different gym.
Mm.
Something went down over there. I don't know what the hell went down. And I went to Snoop, and I that's what I found out. So uh Hubbard is a big guy, man. But if there's one thing I learned about a good capper once, he said, man, just pick the dog, man. Who's the animal? Fuck the technique. Who's the animal? Yeah, and Hubbard is tall. I don't like fighters that are not proportionate, that don't respect the weight class, that bully. But man, Hubbard is just a savage, and he wants it really bad. And Hernandez has got too many shots. They gave him so much. They've given him so much help, and he still doesn't get through. But I don't know. I don't know. I just go with the underdog here. If Hernandez is the favorite, I'd go underdog. I'll do the money on this. I'll just bet it for the betting splits. That's it.
Yeah, good call. If you're having to pick a method round and fighter, what do you got?
I'll do Hubbard by decision.
Hubbard decision. Not bad. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, I'm on that same exact side, and it's for different reasons. I think that Hernandez is going to gas. We're at elevation. I mean, that's going to be brought up several times. Anytime you're listening to any of these breakdowns for Salt Lake City or Denver or Mexico City, elevation has to be brought up in almost every fight. And I think Alexander Hernandez is going to have a great round one, and it might be a good spot to live bet if you're looking at the money line. Live bet Thud Hubbard here, but yeah, I'm on Hubbard by decision as well. I don't think he gets Alexander Hernandez out of there, and unless someone has serious knockout power with their punches, I think it's tough to bet knockouts right now. It really is. It's shown that that trend is changing with the knockouts with these new gloves. So yeah, I'm on the same side as Harry here. Hubbard by decision. Alex, what do you got?
I agree with you, Ryan. That's how I see the fight going. That's why I don't want nothing to do with this fight. Definitely would consider live betting Austin after round one. See how Hernandez is looking on the stool, because sometimes the algorithm can't see how tired the guy is on the stool. I remember I hit Gilbert Burns plus 2,000 off an algorithmic error on DraftKings in round one, and he was plus 2,000 in round five. So it really tells you they make mistakes a lot on these live lines. I'd be willing to hit Hubbard live here, but I think this fight is going to be super close. Hernandez is going to be there for half of the second round. Do we trust Hubbard to get it done being down 2 rounds in round three? I know I don't trust him to get it done. And it's nice seeing him train at elevation, but it hasn't really worked out for him in the past. I agree with Harry. The value is on the dog here, but I'm going to go Hernandez wins a very close decision. Probably a decision he doesn't deserve.
Hernandez decision. You threw me off. I thought you were taking
That's
taking the same
that's
side.
controversial. That's crazy.
It's
That'll
not bad.
capture the live betters too. What you just said. Damn.
Absolutely. Yeah, solid pick. I mean, there's no real wrong answer to that one until it's over, man. Like it's a
That's
very
how I would
interesting
hit it,
fight.
because why would I bet Hubbard plus 160 when he's going to be down round one like most round ones, and then I could hit him at plus 300 going into round two? I'd rather see it. I'd rather wait and get more value off of it.
Right. Yeah, that's probably how I'm gonna eye this, honestly. I'm gonna look at the money line after round one. Because yeah, Hernandez is gonna move forward, man, the whole time. That's what he does. He's pretty chaotic in there and very interesting. Now, this one is going to you, Alex, and this is an interesting fight, man. A lot of people see this as like a domination from one side, but you got Ihor Pereira versus Cesar Almeida. This dude, I don't know if you guys know, because they say it fucking everywhere, that Cesar Almeida once beat Alex fucking Pereira in a kickboxing match. They're going to say that you're going to hear that several times, too many times. This was a while ago. It's a different sport. I don't think it matters at all. But who do you have in this one, Alex, between Pereira and Almeida?
Did a lot of tape on this. It's a very favorable matchup for Almeida. You could tell by the odds you're not minus 400 for no reason, and you have way less MMA experience. But this man is a good glory kickboxer, and he is currently training with Pereira. I don't know if you guys checked out UFC Embedded,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, they were shadow boxing together in the desert, and that's nice to see. He's coming in under the champion's wing. You gotta love that. He's gonna have a chip on his shoulder here. I don't know how long he's been training with Pereira, but I got to go with him here. Very favorable matchup. The only thing I can argue with in this fight is how it ends, when it ends. That's the only thing I think we should be arguing in this fight. Can Ihor extend this fight past round one? I actually think he can. Shot for 4 takedowns in his last fight. He's been mixing it up. Apparently, he's got some Sambo background as well. I'd like to think that Caesar in over 1.5 would be, a nice juicy plus money spot, or even maybe hit the SGP same game parlay and maybe shave the half round on Caesar Almeida, and that might be able to get that line down to bettable odds. So that's how I'm gonna hit this. I think Caesar does get a KO in round 3. But I think people are going to be shocked by Ihor's durability. I think he's going to show a chin in there, but I think it's going to be a gas stoppage. I think he's going to have enough heart to stay in there. I just don't think he's going to have the cardio. So I think he hangs with Caesar for round 1. I think round 2 he gets hurt a lot, gets a couple scramble takedowns, survives the round, and round 3 he's out of there.
Yeah, that's a solid look, actually, because, controversially, I am going to pick Ihor in this, and it's not for any legit solid, like tangible reason here. Just the odds are crazy. Almeida hasn't won in the UFC yet. I think he won his contender series fight, obviously, but Almeida's takedown defense isn't going to improve that much. Ihor gasses again, elevation. This dude, I don't know if this gets to round three just because, yeah, it easily could just because of the takedown defense of Almeida and the car crash style of Pereira. It's just such a tough spot to bet Almeida, especially if you're looking at money lines. It's too hard to bet him at that minus 400 or wherever he ends up closing at, probably closer to minus 500 when it's all said and done. Pereira is a wild card, man. He's got that big new Jesus tattoo on his chest, like his whole torso. It's got to give him a little bit of help, right? So it's real tough for me to pick Almeida. If these were more bettable odds, I would look at Almeida. The props are nice on Almeida, probably like round two, round three knockout combos and stuff like that. But I just got to go with Pereira on this. I think that he's probably coming in here with a chip on his shoulder. The guys that are training with Poatan, they're not doing very well. He's got that one, the Wellington Turman, right? I mean, that dude's dominating a fight and then gets knocked out. The dude that tried to make the contender series twice and lost both, or he won both of them, but Dana didn't like what he was doing. That gym, and you see this a lot. You saw this with John Jones when he was coming up. Training partners of his don't do well. People like the focus is on Alex Pereira in that gym, undoubtedly. So I think Cesar Almeida's in there. He's working to get better. He doesn't need to get better at striking. I think that's a weird thing to do, to like focus on your striking, train with Alex Pereira. You're good at that already. Start training grappling. I know that they're doing that, but it's going to be a little while. He's going to have to prove to me that he has some takedown defense. And I think Pereira gets some easy takedowns here in round one. And Almeida might gas because of that. So yeah, give me Pereira. Not confident, but I'm going KO round one. Harry, method round fighter. What do you got?
I actually been to Almeida's house, man. He invited me with his boys, and we were watching his old fights on Glory. And he was a good dude, man. He's a sweet guy, man. I actually never thought he would even win his contender series fight when that happened. I actually bet against him, which is wild. That was crazy. Yeah, yeah, because it's just, a personality thing, man. It's a Myers-Briggs thing, But all right, so I like your take here. I like how you describe Ihor Pretoria, and using the car crash analogy, because that's exactly what he's gonna have to do, bro. He's gonna have to go in there. He's had a wrestling coach since 2015. He has a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. He sought takedowns against Rodolfo Bellato, Ulberg, Mauricio Rua. So, Almeida may come from behind round two and three and win this fight, like Alex thinks. Or, man, Ihor is just going to dominate. He's going to grapple on him. And they'll both be winded by then because Ihor is a big guy. He was light heavyweight, moving down now to middleweight. And Almeida is a respectable middleweight height. So it's interesting. I do like Ihor Pretoria. He's my dog on this card. Like OSP's my dog on this card. And the Vixen, the Venezuelan Vixen, is my dog on this card.
I
I
like it.
think that, yeah, he gets it done by decision, or he submits Almeida in round two.
You're going Ihor. What do you want to take? That round two or decision?
Now I'll do the round two.
More exciting to see finishes, right? It's more exciting.
It's just that like you mentioned earlier, remember Ryan? This is how the upset happened with Christian Rodriguez and Bill Algeo. This is it, man.
Right,
This is
right.
the altitude shit. It's crazy. You got the best fighter who defeats everyone, Simon, all these promising prospects, and Christian Rodriguez, and all of a sudden, this minus 400 just busts
Oh yeah.
because he couldn't breathe anymore.
Yeah, these high altitude fights, I should say, they're to use a football kind of comparison, it's like Thursday night football, right? Where these teams are coming off short weeks. Weird shit happens, and weird shit happens in these high altitude fights too. Being fucking crushing it in NFL over here too. So I have to mention football any chance I get. All right. I don't even know who's up. Harry, you can take this one. We got Marina Rodriguez. Oh no, Alex, you haven't been up in a minute. Marina Rodriguez versus Yasmin Lucindo. Alex, what do you got on this first fight of the night? Or sorry, second female fight, right?
Yeah, feels like a trap. When I first saw this line, it kind of stuck out to me. I agree with the public on Tapology. I thought The value is on Rodriguez. How do you not take her in this spot at plus 150? It really feels like they're forcing this bet down my throat. It also kind of feels like Aldo later on the card, but that line already got steamed. So, it just feels like it's a big step up for Lucindo. I don't really know if I trust her IQ. I think she has to wrestle here. I don't know if she's gonna pan into the crowd and give the crowd what they want. I really feel like being in that environment will affect some of these strategies. And I feel like Lucindo could get caught up into a fist fight with Marina. And I'm going to take Marina 10 times out of 10 in a fist fight against Lucindo, in my opinion. I think Lucindo really has to pressure her. Like, there's a game plan to beat Marina, and it's just, I don't know if I trust Lucindo at minus 220 to get it done. I'm going to go Marina here to win a decision. Really does feel like a trap. I'm not sure if I'm going to have any money on this fight, but boy, it does feel like a buy low spot on Marina.
Yeah, it definitely does, man. I've never been impressed with her, to be honest. That's just me personally. I think she's always been a little overrated, but I've picked against her in almost every one of her fights that I've been able to watch. So, Harry, what do you got in this one?
This one's interesting, man. Yeah, so initially I thought Marina was going to be the dog on the card. She got taken down one of 8 times with Mackenzie Dern, one of 8 times. But then I thought about it and I said, hold on, Lucindo, she's going to take down Rodriguez, but what's different between her and Dern? Well, it's not the jujitsu because you're going to grapple a straw weight as tall as the trees. For reference, Miranda Granger versus Corey McKenna, the short little meatball, right? She just obliterated Miranda Granger. And with that said, Rodriguez is way too tall for this weight class. So her bullying days are over as that. She's a 38-year-old woman. It's crazy. But anyway, to the point, I said, damn, I saw tape. I said, Lucindo has this body lock that complements her intimidating striking. And that's the element that Dern does not possess. That's why Marina Rodriguez was confident. But Lucindo's got hands, brother. She's got the power and she's got the body lock. So that trip sweep she does, wow, man, that shit's crazy. So that's why I got Lucindo here. And now it's interesting. I didn't know Topology had them at 50-50. Now I'm
Yeah.
more confident because now that's swaying betters off of that, off of Lucindo. So I like that line much better now.
Yeah, when the books and Tapology don't agree, it's to be exact, it's 43% of Tapology is on Lucindo, 57 is on Rodriguez. So I mean, for a women's fight, that's a fairly decent public pick, fairly decent. And when the books have it the other way, it's just kind of hard to go against the books. I'd rather be on the book side than the public side, to be honest, usually. Um, yeah, man, I'm right with you on that, Harry. Were you going decision? Is that what you said?
No, I'm going by submission, man. Lucindo's due for one. She doesn't have one on her record here at the UFC. I'm going with that.
Early, late, what round?
I'll do no early, man. This one has to be. She has to open up. She's gonna dance around Rodriguez. She's gonna feel out Rodriguez, and then she's gonna go for it in the clinch. I think round two,
Round two.
late
Oh.
round two, late round two, because Rodriguez is a dog.
Yeah, she's definitely tough. I just something about her style I don't like. The age difference is significant here. 22 years old for Lucindo, 37, damn near 38. I mean, she's 37 in 6 months essentially. I'm on that Lucindo side, but I am taking her by decision. I think that I love that sub call. If I might sprinkle sub round one just to try to get a little different there, but yeah, I think that this probably goes the distance, and I actually see more finishing upside from Rodriguez with the striking. I think her striking is solid. She's a good Muay Thai striker, but Lucindo's just this could be another political thing where it's
Lucindo,
close.
Lucindo by sub is plus 1,000.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, that's nice. I'm pretty sure that Rodriguez has some pretty good submission defense. Uh, Never lost by submission, so this would be her first time doing that. So yeah, it's a tough look, but I mean, you never know until you know. So got the featured prelim of the evening. I will take this one here. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, nicest guy in the UFC right here. Taking on the
Oh,
shit. What were you gonna say?
I mentioned why too politically, like Lucindo here against Rodriguez,
Right.
because Tatiana Suarez, she has a fight booked. I don't know if you know that. You know that, Alex? Tatiana Suarez is fighting in November.
I
Who's she
didn't know that.
fighting?
Can you Google that real quick? I think Tatiana Suarez, she's fighting oh girl, what's her name? Say the
Tatiana
name,
Suarez.
Alex. This is big. This is big. What I'm going to what you're going to see here is huge. You're going to feel like you're in the situation room with the UFC real quick.
So
Who is it, Alex?
Viera, Jandiroba.
Yeah, Jandiroba, Bruno Mars, right? And what I
Yeah.
think is going to happen there is Tatiana Suarez is going to win. And then they're going to try to, Lucindo has to win this fight in order for Lucindo to look good. And they find a Mackenzie Dern a fight. So I think Mackenzie Dern is going to face Lucindo, right?
That'd be an
Because
interesting matchup.
you also have Tabitha Ritchie versus the number two in Yan Xiaonan. I think Yan Xiaonan, the number two, the Asian, is going to defeat Tabitha Ritchie and keep her at bay, while Lucindo's moving up and is going to get fed to Mackenzie Dern so that then Mackenzie Dern could face off with Tatiana Suarez and win the title. I think Tatiana Suarez is going to get submitted by Dern. I really think that Dern is going to be the strawweight champion. I think that's what the UFC's got planned. After Tatiana Suarez makes her defenses, though. So she has to make her defenses, you know? And there's a few girls there that she could make like one defense with. And then after she defends once, she'll be in the clear. Um, yeah. So that's what I'm predicting. That's why I like Lucindo here because Dern needs to eat. They need to help. And if you don't know, if you haven't noticed, they're giving Dern a veteran and then a young fighter, a veteran, and now the young up and coming.
Mm.
So this is interesting, you know. Take a look. Take a look when you have time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm following you with some of that. I'm not following you with all of that. You know, Zhang Wei Li is so hard to beat, I think, even for someone like Tatiana Suarez. I don't
No,
see
she's
Dern.
not facing Yan. Yan Xiaonan is fighting Tabitha Ritchie.
I know, but to get to the
Yeah.
title, right? To actually win the title, you got to take it from Zhang Wei Li. And that's, I mean, I don't see Dern ever being a champion, to be honest. That's,
Oh, you mean no, but that's why Suarez is going to defeat Whaley.
yeah, she could. If anyone could do it at that weight class, I think it would be her. But yeah, and then I guess if she ended up, winning against Wei Li, then it's a little bit more open. But I just see Wei Li is so far ahead of most of these other girls. But yeah, it's a good prediction. It's ballsy. I like it. All right. So this fight that we were about to start talking about, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. This is a good fight, man. I think it's going to be pretty damn entertaining because Stephen Thompson's always in fun fights. He's actually improved his takedown defense, which he needs in this matchup. Buckley, I think, is just going to spam takedowns. He has to. He cannot last with Thompson on the feet. Thompson was actually doing very well against Shavkat until he broke his foot. And that's where, that's when Shavkat found that finish. It's so hard to pick Thompson here because he's older. He's in his 40s. Yeah, he's 41 versus a 30-year-old that's found a new stride. I gotta go Buckley here. I don't like it because I think that Thompson's the better fighter, but Buckley's gonna go in there and crash the pocket. He's gonna do everything that he has to do here to keep that streak going. And shortly there's some potential title implications down the road for Buckley. You can't say the same thing about Thompson, right? So yeah, give me Joaquin Buckley. Give me a decision. I don't think he finishes Thompson, but give me a decision. Probably not the most fun fight on the card, even though I said Thompson's rarely in boring fights. But yeah, give me Buckley decision. I am going, kind of opposite of what Alex was saying, that he sees a lot of finishes. I think it's kind of split 50-50. I think we'll see, even amount of decisions and finishes here. But yeah, give me Buckley. Not super confident, but by decision as well. Alex, what do you got?
I'm with you. I'm with Buckley, but no bet currently. I'm waiting for takedown lines to drop. I'm curious to see if they're going to put it at over 1.5, over 2.5, because that's how I would want to bet Buckley is chain wrestling. Just he's kind of unreliable, though. I can't trust him on the feet against Thompson. We see what Thompson did to Holland. We seen what Holland did to Buckley. I mean, hate to use the MMA math like that, but Buckley's gonna have a big disadvantage on the feet the longer this fight goes, and I know Buckley's gonna be struggling with that cardio in Salt Lake City too. So, I'm gonna go Buckley wins ground and pound round one. I think they're gonna throw in a ref to help him as well, but I think they're gonna take it easy. Any little bit of damage, they're gonna want to save Wonder Boy for more fights in the future. So I think they're gonna have a special ref in this fight. I'm gonna go Buckley round one KO.
I like that. That's crazy, but I like it. With Fuck, I just had a thought in my head that I wanted to throw out there. Oh, the you gotta wonder if the matchmakers are gonna get in Buckley's ear and say, hey, make this entertaining, and you'll get a step up no matter what. Right? Don't go in there and wrestle, go in there and strike. I mean, because it seems like fighters have talked about how the Hunter Campbells of the world and stuff like that are doing that lately. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it's one-way traffic on the feet and one-way traffic on the ground. But Harry, what do you got here?
Yeah, that's good you bring that up. That's really clever to think that way, that the matchmakers would want him to be incentivized for a ranking, by fighting explosively, right? Here's the thing though, right? That's a thing that a lot of folks are hoping, right? That the matchmakers fix him into a fight with MVP. So that's why I think his line is getting slammed with bets, Stephen Wonderboy time, because people have this hope in that. Bro, if he fought MVP, he's fucked. He's in
Oh yeah.
big trouble. So, and when he fought Kevin Holland nearly finished him with a ground and pound, finished him with a submission, but his dumbass told him, get up. And then he fractures his arm.
Mhm.
So Wonder Boy is also not on the best of is not on the good side of the UFC either, man. And all he keeps preaching about is the Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, I want to get inducted. Like, brother, you know who you are? Obviously, you're gonna get inducted, but why are you talking this way? Clearly, because when he didn't want to take the fight with Michelle Pereira, because the UFC is obviously trying to fix Michelle Pereira into the rankings. We all know that. That's we all know it. His style is incredible. He became worried. He became very worried. He pulled out of that fight. He left. He left the venue, man. So I think Buckley's got this in the bag, and I like how Alex mentions that a ref could be fixed in there. A referee that is more prone to stopping the fights. I'd like Buckley to be smart with his cardio and pace. I know Wonder Boy will be smart with the level changes. So, but by both of them being apprehensive and cautious, they'll get through round one. And I think in round three is where I think Buckley is just going to finish Thompson in a ground and pound. Thompson's not that much larger than Buckley, man. Buckley's got those long arms. He's going to keep him flat on his back, and he's just going to finish the guy, man. That's what I think.
KO round two.
Nah, that ground and pound, we got a TKO round three.
KO round three, TKO specifically. Yeah, with I like that you brought up that Michelle Pereira aspect of it because I don't think that Thompson was in the wrong at all. He's older. He shouldn't have to fight. He did his job. The UFC kind of fucked him already by not giving him the pay. Since then, Michelle Pereira's moved up to middleweight. He is ranked. I think he's 14th or 13th, something like that. And why hasn't that MVP Stephen Thompson fight happened? Why hasn't that happened? That'd be such a fun fight. I mean, they
No,
need to
you
make
you
that
can't
happen.
you can't because it makes him look horrible. It makes the UFC look terrible that another promotion fighter defeated, their own. I mean, the Wonder Boy's a big name in the UFC, man,
Yeah, I mean, it
especially in that
happened.
art.
I mean, Kevin Holland's huge too, and that's where he made his mark. I mean, MVP is actually ranked 13th right now in the welterweight division, and Stephen Thompson's ninth. So I think that makes sense. That matchup makes sense, and it'd be a great fight. But
Yeah, but see, it's the same argument people make with Jose Aldo and Henry Cejudo or Jose Aldo versus Dominic Cruz. They don't want to do that. They
sure,
don't want to make you fix someone as better than the other. They like to keep you in the mystery of it.
sure. Yeah, I still think that fight happens before Stephen Thompson retires. I think that could be Thompson's next fight because he's still MVP's fighting up in the rankings. We'll see what happens there though. But Yeah, it's a fun matchup, and yeah, everybody loves Stephen Thompson, man. It's hard not to. Now this next fight, first main event fight on, or sorry, first main card. I keep saying that, and I'm clicking on too many damn things, and I'm not trying to click on here. So Harry, you can take this one, man. Kevin Holland, you know, absolutely beat the shit out of Joaquin Buckley, but he struggles with his fight IQ a little bit here, man. So does Roman Dolidze, though, his opponent. So
Yeah, he
Dolidze
just
moving down from 205, Holland moving up from like a fringe 170/185 guy. He was kind of fluctuating there for a little bit. Dolidze is going to be big, but I'm curious what you think about the matchup here for you first, Harry, between these two.
so Dolidze, like he zeroes in boxing his opponents, right? Like moving forward. And then if he has to grapple, um then he utilizes that to his advantage, but he would have to be on his back for that, and I doubt that Kevin Holland's gonna want to be close. I think he's just gonna step away every time. It's kind of the way Paul Craig fights. So yeah, man, anything on the feet. I mean, the Kung Fu master, he'll have it. I think Kevin Holland's got this at middleweight with no issues. Had it been welterweight, there'd be a problem. But I think this is a respectable weight class for Kevin, and he's just gonna do the do, man. So fade back counters, to beat Dolidze on the feet, and then do not engage in grappling. Absolutely not. Do not engage in any grappling. It is said that he has a fixed black belt too. So I mean, he might be a brown belt now, but he I think debuted in the UFC suggesting he had a black belt, and people, they drew up a storm on that. There's so much news around it. A lot of media covered it, so you might want to Google that.
We're
But
talking
that
about
doesn't
Holland
take
here.
it. Yeah, yeah, but that doesn't take away that he doesn't have good levels of jujitsu traps and setups now. But he ain't gonna engage Roman Dolidze. The UFC signed Roman Dolidze for that reason because he knows how to utilize it in MMA. So
Right.
yeah.
And to your point, Holland's defensive grappling, I think, is solid. It's really good. I don't see, Roman Dolidze catching him in some kind of meme sub, like a calf slicer, some wild shit. It would be like a choke. And Holland's got the length. He's got everything working for him in here. So you're going, Harry, you're going with
Yeah, Kevin Holland.
with Holland, and you're going decision.
Yeah, I think a decision is good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm actually more confident in Holland than I would be Buckley because of the cardio altitude and all.
Yeah,
Oh,
Holland's
you
a
you
smart fighter when he isn't showing dumb fight IQ. Like it's a weird thing to say, but when he's not agreeing to a striking match with one of the best strikers in the UFC, I think he's a well-rounded mixed martial artist all in all. So yeah, I like that a lot. Alex, what do you think about this one?
I don't want nothing to do with this fight. Nothing. I think this is Holland's ceiling. Roman's actually kind of value at dog odds here. He can win in the grappling. I think he can keep it close in the striking. I think he's got a power advantage. But I feel like Holland needs to win here. I think he knows that his back's against the wall here. He's got a big opportunity to get into the top 10 of the rankings and at middleweight out of nowhere.
out of
And
nowhere.
yeah, just out of pure thin air. And he's currently ranked 15 at welterweight. I really think he would do better down there, but maybe he does do better with the cardio and the extra weight. I just feel like he just doesn't like cutting weight. I feel like he just despises it, and this is why we've seen him come down. But yeah, I'll go Holland wins the decision. Won't be putting any money near this fight other than taking the over.
All right. Yeah, man, I want to go Holland, but I think I want to take him by late finish. I think Dolidze is going to gas hard. He's the bigger guy. He has to cut more weight. He's going to be chasing around a slippery Kevin Holland. And it's so hard to like when I saw this initially, I thought it's so hard to bet on Holland as a favorite, and it's hard not to bet on Dolidze as a dog because that's when he comes through, right? Dolidze comes through as a dog. That's when he gets those meme subs and those crazy things. If he does find you in a wacky position on the ground, Dolidze can capitalize. He's got the skills. He's sick on the ground. But I think Holland will, he's going to try and have that year 2020 that he had where he was active and he won all of his fights. He's trying to get back to that. Don't think he's won all his fights this year. I'm not sure if either one of you can confirm that. No, he lost to MVP earlier this year. But
Nasty loss, man. Nasty loss.
yeah, I mean, he got worked, and that was a striking match. But I mean, MVP is one of the best strikers in the UFC now too. So interesting matchup. But I got to go Holland. I'm going to go KO round 3. It's more of a TKO referee stoppage where Dolidze is just clearly dead tired, and Holland's just piecing him up. Maybe gets him against the fence and is able to just pound on him with no answered shots. And we see a late finish for Holland here. Not what I thought I was going to pick initially, though. So take that how you will. Should we go back to you, Alex, for the chick fight? Third chick fight of the night. There's still one more.
My favorite.
I mean, it's an easy one to pick, so we can all just talk about why we want Kayla Harrison. I almost said Ketlin Harrison, but yeah, Kayla Harrison taking on Ketlin Viera. Viera's ranked number 2, I think, in the female bantamweight division, which is yeah, she's ranked number 2 behind Juliana Pena. So pretty wild. But what do you think about the matchup, Alex?
Hard not to take care of Kayla Harrison here. They are begging for you to bet your money on Viera this week.
Oh yeah.
Just line. I mean, it just keeps going up and up. They're just begging for you to just throw your money away. Pretty much, all we're gonna argue here is how Kayla Harrison is gonna win, and I want to trust that Ketlin Viera has pretty good submission defense. Never been subbed in the UFC, so I kind of want to lean shaving that line on Harrison down a little bit. Maybe going Harrison double method decision or KO, seeing where that line is at. It might be somewhere around minus 400. That's a big difference from where it is right now. So, who else do I like? I like Kayla Harrison to win round 1 KO, ground and pound.
Round 1 KO. Yeah, she's gonna have to get that takedown though against I think it's like 90. It's above 90% takedown defense for Viera. I think it's like 92, 94, something I heard like that. Insane takedown defense. The UFC wants Kayla Harrison versus fucking Amanda Nunes, dude. That's what they want.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it.
I think that they would. So whoever wins this title in the co-main event, they're going to have it for one more fight because Kayla Harrison's going to go up there and probably get that as well. In the top, become a champion there. One thing for me, man, again, altitude. Kayla Harrison used to fight at like 155. Then she's fought at featherweight and then PFL. And PFL, it's amateur as far as I'm concerned. Like these fighters, like they're not allowed to use elbows and shit. That's amateur stuff, right? So I don't think very highly of the PFL, but Kayla Harrison was obviously a standout. Harrison probably, I think, goes the distance with Viera because she starts getting tired around round 2. If she doesn't get her out of there in round 1, like you think, Alex, she's going to slow down a little bit. Viera will too, but not as much. But I think Harrison, she could even get a 10-8 in that first round, and then just kind of slowly grind out the 10-9 in one other round, and then Viera might actually win that third round. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, give me Harrison decision. What do you got, Harry?
I think Harrison, because of the altitude, is going to avoid grappling with Viera. I think she's going to showcase the striking, and I think she's going to get a round 2 or 3 finish on the feet.
Yeah. Like we said, we didn't really have to go too deep into this because the odds indicate what's supposed to happen. And I don't think it's crazy to do that. You can't parlay her up, though. You cannot parlay her up at that price. Harry, we'll go right back to you for Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista. And I'm actually really interested in what all you guys think in this featured fight of the night here. Should be a good one, man. Jose Aldo coming back. I think that was his plot. He was going to retire, get inducted into the Hall of Fame instantly, go make a bunch of money boxing, and come back to the UFC. I always thought that he had it planned to get back into the UFC. Guy's been fighting for forever, but he debuted at like 21 years old. So at the UFC level. So yeah, I mean, what do you think about these two?
Yeah, anybody would think that with his record at bantamweight, they're trying to fix him for Figgy, Cejudo, or a rematch with Marab, maybe to face Umar for sure. Anybody would think that. But then you start to realize when if you research this, how the UFC was negotiating Aldo's contract, you'd start to think differently. Also, how he's fighting down. He's fighting Bautista. That he's fighting Martinez. Why? Yeah, I get it. I get it. There's a narrative now everyone is spinning where, well, he's proving that he can defeat the young fighters. Hello, Viera's up there, Song Yodong. What's going on? There's Corey Sanhagen. Like, what are we doing? I mean, this is Aldo. He lost to Marab, the champion, and people don't even think it was decisively. So I think that his best days are over. That's what I believe because of how he's being treated, because of how he departed. He sought the Hall of Fame. He was on an interview suggesting that he never raises kids and he had a newborn and he's like, I got to be there for this one. I refuse to, continue being serving myself and not my family. With that said, right? Um, I don't think that his style, especially if he kicks, and everybody's talking about this, like the capping community is talking about, oh, Aldo doesn't kick, but in this fight he's gonna kick. Well, one of the great things that Mario Bautista does is return counters. So he would return a counter on every kick attempt for sure. He also has great combinations when his opponents have their back against the wall. And then, of course, he's a wrestler, much better wrestler than Ricky Simone. We're talking state level championships, and then yeah, he's got a good back take like Aljo. His cardio is suffering, but again, I think that all this is going to be in proportion to volume, timing, speed, and power due to their size discrepancies. Aldo is not a bantamweight, my friend. That man is at a featherweight at least at this age, and he's about to see a 5'9" bantamweight, you know, win I think, a decisively unanimous decision, man. That's what I think.
You think that Jose Aldo wins the decision?
No, Mario Bautista.
Okay. Yeah, you said a lot there, man. What I thought you were where the angle I thought you were taking, I thought you were going to say that the UFC's trying to build these lower level fighters off of a name like Jose Aldo. I think that they kind of wanted that with Martinez, right? I actually thought Martinez was going to win because of those leg kicks, but you can't leg kick fucking Jose Aldo, man. The dude is he's got such a well-rounded game. Apparently, you can't take him down because Marab couldn't take him down. I think he went 0 for 16. It was the cage pushing that got him the win there and the cage clinching. It's tough to make a call on this, but I'm curious where you are on that,
No,
Alex.
I
No.
think that that's not what's going on. I think Aldo's naive, bro. Aldo went into that office with Maynard and Dana, and they said, "We got this guy named Jonathan Martinez for you." And actually, Jose Aldo is quoted saying the following: "When I was in the situation room contracting, they told me that they wanted me to aspire to fight for the title again." And I said, "Whoa, let me just get through Martinez first. Let me see where I'm at, how I feel." You see what I'm saying? And we've seen Maynard at work, bro.
Mhm.
We've seen all of them at work. You highlighted that in this on this podcast. So I think he's just a very naive person. He's not a good businessman, bro. He's a great fighter. He's not a good business. And again, you're not getting Martinez is so slow, man. He's so predictable. He fights linear. He's not like Daniel Marcos. He's not finding angles like Bautista. It's just they're screwing Aldo, man.
You think
That's
so?
a
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the truth.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought because this dude was greatest featherweight of all time, arguably. So what do you think about the matchup here, Alex?
Kind of missed the bandwagon on that Aldo line when I saw it. I said, that line's gonna flip. I think anything plus money on Aldo isn't a bad bet to take. I think it is a 50-50 fight. Look at the experience.
Is he
You
a
know,
favorite now?
no, but he very well could be by Saturday.
By the
He's
yeah, by the
definitely going to
close.
be. I mean, let's check the Tapology votes.
Tapology is probably on the side of Jose. Yeah, big time. 80% for Aldo, mostly by decision, and then 20% for Bautista, mostly by
80%.
decision.
You know how many people are gonna bet with their heart this weekend?
With this one, for sure.
100%. So that line's probably gonna flip. Great opportunity if you just want free money, get them both at dog odds, but hard not to go with Aldo. Harry makes so many good points. I thought the same thing. Why are they making this matchup? Is it about just being available? Is that the only guy who's available in the top 15? Because maybe he is. Who else could they have matched him up with? I'm leaning towards Aldo gatekeeping here. I think this top 10 spot is something he wants to hold on to. And I think this fight will solidify him as that gatekeeper role. So I'm going to take Aldo wins. I want to say a finish, too. I think he's going to knock the kid out in round one.
Yeah, Aldo is ranked 10 in the bantamweights, and Bautista's 11, so he is fighting down one rank. It is definitely weird. You'd think he'd fight up, but before then he fought Martinez, who was ranked 13 now. So in between them, Kyler Phillips and Mario Bautista, obviously. So yeah, why don't you give him a Song Yadong or Cheeto or Figgy, or I mean Sandhagen would be an interesting fight too.
But it
But
would be sick. Let me just tell you something, because I know Harry's on this wave, too. If you're here next week. But it would be very, very heartbreaking to see, because Mario Batista's gotten very much better with his hands. He impressed me in his last fight against Ricky Simone. I bet on him and I was pumped. I know Harry bet on him. I loved Bautista after that fight. But I think, it's a lot of people's hearts are going to break if we see Aldo and Max Holloway get knocked out within a 7-day span. I would be sick to my stomach.
Well,
I
that's
really
likely.
would.
With
I would be
Topuria, it's
so
likely.
sick.
With Topuria, it's likely because, bro, Max Holloway is not a featherweight, dog. That man, that ship has sailed, my friend. He was great at light heavyweight. Stay there, man. You looked good with Gaethje. You felt good. Bro, he's going to disappear. He's going to look worse than Yair cutting weight.
yeah, yeah, I agree with that, dude. Holloway's absolutely a lightweight. Like that's where he should be. He should not have gone back down, but he's got a title shot. And yeah, man, I'm gonna be on that Topuria side there as well. But we'll see. We'll talk about that when we get there. Is that next? It's not next week.
Nah, that's like 3 weeks from now.
Yeah. Okay.
Next week is Tyra and Royval.
Whatever.
Okay.
The next pay-per-view, you guys know what I meant.
No,
Yes.
I
Next
legit thought that
pay-per-view,
it was
next
maybe.
pay-per-view.
Yeah, I legit thought that it was next week. That'd be wild. So yeah, man, I'm on the Aldo side. I think Aldo is just he's too good, man. And Bautista's been getting better with his hands, but all that Jose Aldo's been doing before, like in his time off, he was boxing, right? And boxing takes a lot of. I mean, people don't realize these guys when they fight higher level boxing, your footwork is solid, your hands are obviously solid, your reaction time's solid. So I think that Aldo is better everywhere other than the wrestling. It's just can Batista get it there? I really don't think so at all. If you can avoid 16 takedowns by Marab, I think you can avoid 5 or 6 by Batista. But time will tell, man. It's going to be interesting. Alex, oh no, I'm going to give this one to Harry because this is the co-main, and I don't want you to have just every chick fight. So, Harry, what do you got for the co-main between Rocky Pennington here? And you kind of alluded to it earlier, but one of your dogs on the card, Juliana Pena.
Oh yeah, man. I think Juliana Pena, after that rib injury, she was crushed. She really wanted the trilogy fight with Nunes, and I think she was going to defeat Nunes then. So if Pennington is 1/8 of what Nunes is, then just like 1/8 of what she's like as a superstar women's MMA champion, right? We've heard that today behind the press microphone, during media time, right? That she's not living up to the job, bro. She literally said, "I don't want to be on embedded." Right. So anyway. Long story short, I think Pennington's got through that rib fracture. She's been wrestling with state level wrestlers, collegiate, but she's been sparring great female athletes for about a year and a half. And then she's training, learning tricks from Bilal Muhammad. We're talking about Juliana Pena, who submitted Sarah McMahon. We're talking about Juliana Pena, who takes down her opponents. And then you got to ask yourself, who the hell is this purple belt, Juliana Pena? She literally just started MMA like when she was 21 from a kickboxing discount that they were offering, I think, at her local church. Something like Sam Hughes. She was a cross country runner before she got into MMA. So that's how impressive this girl is. And for Raquel Pennington to have a soft jab, soft punches, no takedown defense, and to just clinch you against the wall, that's not good, man. That's not good at all. So I don't think she's gonna make this title defense at all. Not only that, but she was injured like 4 months ago. Pennington was injured 4 months ago. That's why they had to rebook this fight. What was she injured for? Nobody knows. And yeah, man. And Pena's a dog, man. Alex would attest to that. Pena is a dog, bro. She I don't like how she is as a fighter. I think her body, she's just too feminine. Too feminine, you know? She's got frail bones, you know, small back, small frame, thin legs, you know? I mean, it is what it is, you know? But as
Built like
long
a
as she has
bird.
that chin, she could take a punch with that chin, man, you know? So let's go, Ryan, like a bird, you know?
It's
There we go, man.
like
So
a
yeah,
condor. Yeah, dude.
like a
I like that look a lot. It is tough though. Juliana Pena's striking is bad, I think. You know, she's got power, she's mean, but like you saw her trying to throw, she's missing 8, 9, 10 punch combos against Nunes. Now it is Nunes, but she's missing massive combos, just going like this, just flailing, zero technique, and then she can't even avoid the one shot coming back from Nunes. Um, Now again, it is Nunes. I think Nunes beats all these girls other than maybe Kayla Harrison, but I think she probably beats her too. Um, it's a tough matchup. I wanted to pick the Pennington parlay, but it's hard, dude. It's real hard. So I think I got to go Pena here. She's also working with Bilal Muhammad. I'm actually a Bilal Muhammad fan, not necessarily of his fight style. He's just dominant. He's good at what he does, and he seems like a good dude. And I don't like all the hate that he gets just for kind of being himself. I think Bilal is going to be a fairly long reigning champ until maybe he runs into Shavkat, but he probably beats Shavkat too. So yeah, with Bilal in your corner, I don't know if he's going to be there or not, but being behind you, that's huge. And she's already a good grappler. She's got all the pieces, just needs to work on that striking a little bit. For the odds, man, I don't think that you can go wrong with Pena. You know, this should be probably a pick 'em realistically. And yeah, the whole injury thing with Pennington, that's weird. I gotta go Pena. I kind of pick flipped here. But yeah,
you
I
know
gotta go.
what's crazy too, Ryan? You know what's crazy? And I published this on the website at proshmobets.com, how the political strategy for UFC matchmaking is written on Dana White's wall, man.
Hmm.
Don't believe anything they say. Believe what they do. It's
Right.
always the opposite, man. Dana's always, man, just go the other way. So with that said, I realized that today, during press, Pennington literally said, I think, she said two things. She said, I think Juliana Pena's injured. Juliana Pena has not showed up for altitude training. I think that this fight's going to get, this is the third thing. I think it's going to get rebooked because, yeah, well, she might pull out. You know, she's the pullout queen. And I guess I'm going to have to fight Kayla Harrison. When in reality, the injured one is her, bro.
Yeah, she's projecting.
Yo, man, this is out of control, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Raquel
This
has
is
shown quit in
interesting.
her too. Raquel has shown quit in her as well. She would be the one to gas here if either one of them does. I mean, she quit on the stool against Nunes. Again, it's Nunes, but still, quitting on the stool is never a good look. It doesn't matter how long ago that is or whatever. She's got that quit in her. And I mean, Pena doesn't. To your point, Harry, and obviously Alex was agreeing, like, Pena's a fucking dog. She's an absolute dog. She needed plastic surgery. I think she needed either like a cadaver bone in her forehead or one of her own. Like, that probably couldn't have been one of her own bones, but cartilage was put in her, some shit after she got fucked up by Nunes that last time out. And she took a long break after that. So I think that's why she's the dog. But I think she's going to come back. She knows that she can beat anybody that's not Amanda Nunes. And in her head, she thinks she can beat Amanda Nunes. She did once, so she thinks she can do it again. So, Alex, what do you got here? Are you on Pennington?
Yeah, I'm riding with you guys. I'm not going to be throwing huge money on it, but I think the storyline will be her to win. But I truly believe somehow it's going to end controversial, maybe even a draw somehow, because I don't know if you guys believe in this theory, but whenever there's a huge killer in the division, like um like John Jones, Nagano, like
Habib.
exactly. When they're coming up in the division, a lot of these champions will play back and forth and will go for these trilogy type of fights because it avoids a harder matchup with someone lower in the division. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
I could
So
buy
I
that.
really think they're going to want to build up a trilogy here that no one's going to care about. And it's all in order to keep Kayla Harrison's paycheck lower because she's not going to
Sure.
have that championship belt and she's not going to be getting them pay-per-view points, but she's still going to be fighting.
Yeah.
Hold on, but if okay, that's interesting, Alex. All right, so but let's say so it's a draw, and then what happens? Who would Kayla fight then? There's only Norma Dumont.
Immediate rematch. Kayla would fight. They would just feed her whoever. It doesn't matter.
Norma Dumont.
All
Norma
filler.
Dumont.
Yeah, Norma. Perfect.
Yeah, Norma's the only one because Macy Chason needs at least one or two more wins. She's on a two fight win streak. Okay, so let's take what you're saying. All right. So Kayla fights Norma, clear domination, clear domination. No, but then this doesn't work, Alex. You know why? Because the time is going too much, and Amanda Nunes is going to be 38 by then, 39. So something's not right here. They have to play it to Amanda Nunes. You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
So there has to
100%.
be a winner. And maybe she gets her vengeance for her friend Pennington. She says, "I'm coming back. I'm taking that shit back from this bitch. I'm gonna prove it in the trilogy," and she does. She's gonna dominate again. And then now Kayla Harrison's ready. You get me? After she defeats Norma Dumont.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It's not the most interesting title fight on this card, but how did you have this actually like broken down, Alex? Were you going you're going Pena, but what method, what round? I didn't hear.
And
You
yeah,
said potential draw.
decision.
Decision. Yeah, dude, I didn't give my method either. I think that Pena could break her late in round 4 or 5, but I think it's most likely going the distance. And you're probably gonna hear some boos during this fight at some point. But yeah, we're all on the decision Pena side, which is usually not a good sign on this show if we're all on the same side. So I'm very excited to talk about this main event. I'm glad that we have some extra time to talk about it because did you know, either of you guys, did you guys know that fucking Khalil Rountree Jr.'s dad was the manager for Boys to Men? You
Oh
didn't know
wow.
that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, Alex, I dropped that in the chat with Jared and you, and no one even fucking said anything. So I thought I was an idiot by like just saying, like, yeah, that's old news, dude. But
It got
it
buried.
got lost in it. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense because it blew my fucking mind. So this dude, Khalil Rountree Jr., which is what he goes by, his dad, Khalil Rountree Sr., Boys to Men manager. When he died, Boys to Men dedicated all their new songs and new album releases to him. Right? Huge,
Holy
huge,
cow.
yeah, huge figure in that circle of hip hop. Right? So he's connected to hip hop. Khalil Rountree is. Drake sampled that Boys to Men song that was dedicated to Khalil Rountree Jr.'s father, the initial song that was dedicated to him. Drake sampled it. Now, Khalil Rountree's wife, Mia Kang or Mia Kang, Kang, she's a high fashion model, like high fashion. She was signed to Trump models. Like she's a fucking high level model. Um, to me, that alone is really interesting because he's connected to fashion, he's connected to hip hop, he's connected to the entertainment industry through Joe Rogan. I mean, a lot of these fighters are, but Roundtree was going on the Rogan podcast before he was anybody. He's been on there like 5 times. He's sponsored by Prada, okay, which, people like Alex Pereira got to go out and buy that shit. And then they take pictures of it and all that stuff. This dude actually has like a Prada sponsorship. He's a model himself. So this dude's connected to all these industries. And he's got like Buddhist tattoos, Satanist tattoos,
Dude,
Christian.
I'm so happy I got to be on this pod today. I swear to God, man.
Dude,
Continue, right?
it's interesting, man. So he's got Satanist tattoos. He's
This
got
has to be the intro to this video. I swear to God, which is this is crazy.
He has Anton LaVey. Are you guys familiar with Anton LaVey?
Of course.
He's got him tattooed on his rib cage. You can look at the fucking tattoo. He's got Anton LaVey tattooed on his rib cage. For those that don't know, the founding father, basically, of modern day Satan worship, right? It's kind of ironic. When he was on his deathbed, he was saying, I made a bunch of mistakes in my life. I don't think Satanism is the path, all this stuff. But on top of the Christian tattoos, the Satanist tattoos, the Buddhist tattoos, all this stuff that Rountree has, he also works with a hypnotist. And his hypnotist is like Dominique. I forget the guy's like actual name. I can send you guys a video where I learned all this information. It just popped up on my YouTube algorithm, and it's fucking incredible. I actually wanted to do kind of a spin-off episode on my show because that's what I cover is conspiracies and shit, and obviously MMA and conspiracies when they meet, it's super fun. But Khalil Rountree is highly connected in like the entertainment world. So there's a reason that he's here. Is he going to perform? I don't know. But this whole hypnotist situation's wild. And then when you go back to Sean Strickland, I don't know if you guys remember, Sean Strickland was saying that we need to save Khalil Rountree because he's in a cult. He's in a brainwashing cult. He's in a hypnotist cult. Like Sean Strickland says some wild stuff, but it's like Donald Trump. Donald Trump says some wild stuff, but a lot of that shit's true, right? People didn't believe that Haitians were eating dogs and cats in Springfield until he said it, and then they started looking at it, and yeah, that's fucking real. I just think that there's a lot more to learn about Khalil Rountree. His hypnotism stuff seems to be working. He used to be kind of a mental midget. He'd go out there and beat the fuck out of some dude and then lose to someone that he should absolutely dominate because he gets nervous. But he's locked in that mental game stuff. He's got a whole team of like hypnotists and fucking, cult leaders essentially behind him. I would argue that his wife is a witch. Like she practices magic. And I'm not saying she's a witch like evil. Like she practices magic, clearly. That would mean he does, right? They got married in a Buddhist temple. Buddhism is very connected with all the occult stuff, and they try and blend that with Christianity. It's just very, very interesting that Khalil has. I mean, he seems like a boring dude, but he's got a very interesting backstory. So
not only that, Ryan, but maybe you would know, or Alex, but how the hell did they rescind the determination on the drug failure test with the Nevada Athletic Commission?
So quick, yeah.
No, yeah, like what, Alex? What do you think about that?
And there's a huge trends of guys coming off of suspensions winning fights. Tons of good trends backing that too. I mean, there's a lot of things pointing in that direction of, hey, bet Khalil, but it goes against every mental facet of doing fight research. I'd put it this way: when I was doing tape, I would bet Khalil if this was a legit boxing fight. If this was with the gloves on, kickboxing, a Muay Thai fight. If this was a Muay Thai fight in the UFC, be hammering Khalil Rountree. He would have a much better opportunity in a legit kickboxing fight, a Muay Thai fight. He'd be a legit champion in the UFC. But I just think Pereira has way too many ways to win. If I'm Teixeira, I'm telling him to take this fight right down to the mat, round one. I mean, go just take the path of least resistance. It's hard. This is a tough fight, guys, because I agree with you. There's something smelly about this fight,
Well, before we get into predictions, I have some more shit on both these guys.
Tell us more.
So they're both Freemasons too. Both these guys, right? I don't know if you guys have seen.
Is Khalil confirmed?
Khalil is all but confirmed, man.
So Teixeira, so Alex's coach, Teixeira and Khalil are both Masons. Okay, gotcha.
So, well, Plinio Cruz is the Freemason. Like, this is his gym logo. I'll pull this up real quick for you guys. Plinio Cruz, that's his fucking gym logo. That's a square and compass. Like, there's no two ways about that. If you don't know what the Freemason logo looks like, Freemason logo is that, the G with that. It's the same damn thing, right? Instead of the G, there's a bulldog fighting in the middle. So it's the same symbol. That's the square, the black belt, the compass is that little design on top. There's pictures of Plinio Cruz in, he's got them on his own Instagram. I'm just scrolling to try to find them. He's sitting in the Ireland High Masonic Lodge on the chair, sitting there with his arms crossed, with the checkerboard floor and all that shit. So Plinio Cruz is very much a high level Mason. Now, the narrative that could be built here, just like when George Bush, see, there's them posing in front of the damn logo right there. Um, when George Bush and Al Gore ran against, or John Kerry ran against each other. Those are two Freemasons that were running against each other in an election, and it didn't matter who won. So in this case, to the Freemasons, it wouldn't matter who wins, but who's talking about moving down to 185, and probably he can win the belt there. Alex Pereira. So they could have two Freemason champions. I'm trying to find this damn picture as I'm talking. While you guys are talking, I'll keep looking for it because it's got to be on one of his main ones here.
Yeah, it is very fishy that they're both Freemasons because I tried to look into Khalil, couldn't really find any confirmation. I would love to see, you know, the the confirmation of him being a Mason. I would love to see that
Well, again,
because
I don't have confirmation, but he's connected to a lot of them. Just like Alex Pereira, there's no real proof that he's a Freemason himself, but his head coach is. And I would imagine, I mean, they live in Connecticut. Brazilians living in Connecticut, for one thing. What the fuck is that? Connecticut is a epicenter of Freemasonry. That's where like Skull and Bones is with Yale University and shit like that. So I can't confirm that either fighter is, but they both have Freemasonry behind them. So I think if you have a Freemason, you know, light middleweight or light heavyweight champion and a middleweight champion, that's obviously super solid for Freemasonry right there. But yeah, sorry to interrupt.
makes me think that the outcome could be scripted, you know? Definitely makes me think that something could be the fix could be in here. But you could even fix it just by training. You know, I think I just saw a clip of Khalil Rountree doing a bunch of grappling and throwing up some triangle chokes and stuff. And I was like, imagine they just force the grappling in this fight and, you know, Hunter Campbell comes out and pays them both to wrestle, you know? We could see any type of crazy shit like that.
You know what's crazy too? That on Joe Rogan, he said, "Oh, wait till you see this technique I've been working on, and it works very well with Alex." He's like, "You'll see. I'm going to show you the video. It's a sweep I've been working on."
Yeah. Well, dude, here's some proof. Plinio Cruz, this is his Instagram. Hashtag Freemasons, hashtag Mason, hashtag craft, brotherhood, and brothers. So he's a Freemason. He says it himself. So yeah, I just thought it was wild. Really, really cool stuff for me to kind of find out. But yeah, the dudes are Freemasons, man.
And they've been recruiting like crazy because I've been seeing ads for them everywhere.
Yeah. Well, they kind of have gotten a bad reputation, and not everything that they do is bad. Like I know a couple Freemasons, and they're solid dudes. But it's like anything, you know, you can be a Catholic and be a good person, but the highest order of the Catholic, you know, the Vatican, those are some fucking weird dudes, you know, and they do some really bad stuff at the highest level there. So yeah, I mean, let's get into predictions. I don't know if you guys have more that you wanted to throw on that. There's all kinds of fucking pictures of Plinio Cruz with this Freemason stuff, man. So um, definitely proof there. You want to go first, Alex, on your prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna have the hot take. I really think that I trust the coaches. You know, I trust those Freemason coaches that they're gonna look at the odds. They're gonna see that plus 2,000 for Pereira by sub, and they're gonna say that's the game plan here, boys. It's easy money. It's the easiest game plan to get Pereira out unscathed. It could end the fight the fastest. I mean, I guess the left hook Larry could end it any time, but Pereira, get that round one takedown, grab that neck, make Glover Teixeira proud. I think that sub's coming. I'm the round is a pure gamble, but I'm gonna go round one. Pure gamble on the round. But that plus 2,000 on Pereira sub, I really think that that could be a look.
I like that. What about you, Harry? What do you got?
Man, this is a tough fight, man, because I could see Khalil doing some freaky shit when Alex Pereira runs away from him. You know, like kicking him in his calf from the back, like trying to sweep him from the back, kicking him from the back. You know, and then that's where Pereira trips and falls, and then Khalil gets a dominant ground and pound. That's bad, you know. Hopefully that's not the case, man. Hopefully this guy Alex Pereira knows how to scramble, because if that happens and he falls because the guy's tripping him from the back, yeah. But yeah, man. I you know, if you call it what it is, Alex Pereira is just the best he's ever looked, man. At like heavyweight, his debut with Jamal Hill, how fast he was, it was just wild, man. His size, like nothing I've ever seen at that weight class, man. So I like Alex Pereira here on the money line. Do I see a finish? Yeah, I could see a finish in late round four. Late round four finish.
Late round 4 knockout, I'm assuming.
Yeah, knockout for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking still. I can't find that damn picture of Plinio Cruz sitting on the throne in the lodge there, but
He probably took it down.
he might have, man. He might have. But I mean, he's got confirmation all over the place that he is. So and he won coach of the year that one year when Alex Pereira won the championship. Why didn't Glover win that? Like Plinio won that instead of Glover. So it's kind of interesting. Man, I love that sub one call, or just a sub in general. A sub for Pereira, it's got to be coming at some point. He's working on that grappling. He got his black belt for getting a knockout too, so it's kind of fishy to me. I love that sub call. I'm gonna have a bet on that. That's not gonna be
Hiring a great developer can be really hard without the right.
It can be really hard without the right people, but it's all right. So, for the sake of this and for what I'm talking about, man, I'm gonna take Khalil Rountree in a fluky kind of situation. I think he catches him because he's got power. They did the little grip test. He's got bigger grip than or stronger grip than Alex, and obviously that doesn't mean much. They're not going to be grappling, so the grip shouldn't matter a whole lot. But Roundtree's strong, and he was clearly on some juice. So, I mean, if Roundtree connects, man, that's putting anybody out. And those body kicks, if it does end up on the ground, the dude's vicious. Give me Roundtree. I'm gonna go decision though. I'm actually gonna throw this for a crazy loop. We're just gonna go Roundtree. I think if you throw some money on Roundtree in the first place, you're probably crazy. But I definitely see Alex Pereira winning this. But for the sake of just getting something a little bit different out there, Khalil Rountree's here for a reason. Like, is it just to pad Alex Pereira's title defenses up more? Maybe. But yeah, I think this is super, super cool. I'm excited for the fight. A lot of people think it's just going to be domination by Pereira, and it could be. But yeah, I think Khalil stands a chance here, man. So should be wild. Should be pretty fucking wild. And the energy is going to be nuts in there too, man. You'll be able to pick up on that shit through the TV. So
Some wild comments on these videos on the Freemasonic backgrounds on these fighters. Some weird comments.
like what?
I got some guy saying when Khalil was on The Ultimate Fighter, a lot of the fighters' roommates reported him doing bizarre stuff in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I don't recall that. But that's funny.
I mean, if you look at Khalil Rountree's Instagram too, you can see a lot of pictures. Like, if you know, like a lot of Freemasons, they're not as out there as Plinio is. He belongs to a separate one that's kind of more Brazilian specific, but like they'll do hand gestures, right? Khalil Rountree's gone out there and done photo shoots with his left eye like blacked out, like through bruising. That's the one eye thing. That's the same thing as doing that. He'll hide his hand. That's the hidden hand. If you like hide one of your hands in your jacket pocket, that's a Masonic signal. And I mean, I would, if you were to tell me, you have to guess if Rountree's is Mason or not, I would say he is. And yeah, these guys usually like to back other Masons, so I would also say Pereira is. But yeah, man, it's a very fun rabbit hole to go down, and I can send you guys the video if you're interested. You might have found it. Who's the guy that made the video, Alex? That you're
Rigo.
watching? Yeah, Rigo. That's the one that I watched. Super interesting. The guy's voice is
I was
annoying.
watching it a while ago. It was good. I was like kind of shocked about how much and how deep it actually went.
Yeah. Yeah, he shows countless examples. You can see all the pictures I'm talking about. So let's wrap this up, guys. We don't have Jared here to do any of the extra bets. Do you guys have anything that you really like on this card that you would recommend to the people? Not necessarily round lines or anything, parlays, anything that you got like that, Harry?
Oh yeah. I'm taking next week's fight card and this week's fight card, and I'm parlaying one leg or the other to beat the variance, right? So, for example, I'm categorizing it, let's say OSP and Razak. Razak is fighting Josh Frem next week.
Oh
Razak is
boy.
the one. Yeah, he got the no contest with Cody Brundage. So I have OSP and Razak. I got um the Venezuelan Vixen and Pat Sabatini. Sabatini's fighting Jonathan Pierce next weekend. I got Grant Dawson. I got fight to start round two. Alex Pereira and Lucindo on a three-leg parlay. Yeah, that's how I'm playing this out, man. That's what I'm doing. Now, for my dogs, though. So with mention of OSP Vixen, the Venezuelan Vixen, with mention of these dogs, I am definitely taking the spread on DraftKings.com, the plus 3.5. So I'm not taking them on the money line.
That's smart. Smart, smart. Well, I like it, man. Alex, do you got anything that you want to say bet wise before we plug our shit again?
I like Tisha Torres money line this weekend, and I also like Cesar Almeida to win in over 1.5. A little bit of a juicy one if you want to get greedy with it. I do like his money line, but I also like the over 1.5. It should be around plus 180, plus 170. So there's a little dog money for you this weekend.
Hell yeah. I like it. Well, guys, like I said at the beginning, you can listen to the audio here on Dangerous World Podcast. It's where a lot of you are listening. It's where everyone's listening. If you're watching, you're going over to Profit Picks YouTube. That channel's growing nicely, right? It's doing all right.
Going somewhere.
Hell yeah. Yeah, some of the shorts and stuff that you put out get some big numbers, so that's always a good thing. And always follow Jared from Teep Picks. He puts out picks for free. He's been super hot with MMA. He's always good with one as well as UFC. If you want to talk some football too in the DMs, hit me up at Dangerous World Podcast or Dangerous World Pod. I don't even know my damn Instagram. Dangerous World Pod. And yeah, I've been crushing with football, calling first touchdown scorers, calling crazy shit. Hey, you never ask. And the last football picks that I gave you lost. So I'm not just volunteering to give those. But yeah, we had Marvin Harrison first touchdown last week, James Conner touchdown, all kinds of shit. So it's been real nice with football lately. I'm enjoying it. Good time of year to be a better. And go over to proschmobets.com. Is that it?
Yeah, that's where they'll find injury reports, free picks, bets, contender series, PFL, UFC.
proschmobets.com. Yeah, the guy's always out there, putting content out and giving his thoughts on a lot of things, coming at it from a little bit of a different angle too. So that's always refreshing. And yeah, follow Alex on Instagram at Profit Picks. Is it Profit underscore Picks?
Yes.
Profit underscore Picks. Look at that. Nailed it. Well, cool, guys. Yeah, I enjoyed the company this evening. I got another podcast I'm doing in 20 minutes, so I will let you guys go. And yeah, it should be a really fun card. I'm going to eat some good food, hopefully win some money, watch some great fights, hopefully. And hopefully everybody came prepared with their cardio this weekend because I don't want to see a bunch of gassed out people sucking eggs through a straw trying to throw punches. But thank you, guys. We'll talk soon. Everybody out there, if you're betting, good luck. Thanks for your support. If you got any friends that watch MMA, tell them about the show. Tell them about the work of these two gentlemen and Jared as well. And we will be back next week for the next UFC Apex card.